Good morning. It's Sunday, July 31st. I am in the historic town of Savannah in Georgia, where I just left my hotel and I am driving to a trail. It's going to be a short trail, just a couple of miles, which is good. I'll talk a little more, but I've been training lately. I think I may have overdone it, so taking it easy a little bit. But the trail that I'm going to do today has been on my radar for about a year and a half since I did this, Hope you'll stay tuned. Good morning. I'm back again. I'm here just outside Savannah at the historic Savannah, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, Ogeechee, or is it Ogeechee? I'm going to try and find out later. Canal. And this is another type of towpath, similar to what I did in the CNO. And that's actually how I found the CNO, by finding this trail first. So about a year and a half ago or so, maybe even 2 years now, when I was doing research looking for trails, I came across, I believe, this towpath, which was kind of open but not open. There's a museum attached to it, and this is an historic canal as well that was built in the early to mid 1800s, before the Civil War. And similar to the CNO, they used it to float barges with different crops, whether it be rice, lumber, construction materials, all those things, cotton, from more of the rural area, the fields, to Savannah, where there was actually a port as well as greater consumption for these goods. So this was built, and there's a towpath along of it, or a strip of land that was graded, and it would be used to pull the barges. So you would have animals pulling the barges up and back, so that the barge, obviously floating, can carry a lot more goods than, let's say, men could carry, or a wagon. It can carry multiple wagons at one time, and it would take less labor. So it was actually a more efficient way of moving goods. So the sign here says 1825 to 1890. So I'm walking through the gate. I just paid. It was $5 if you're not military. We do have restrooms here, and I guess there's more than one trail that I'm going to go to. They didn't have a map. I guess you can use all trails, but I don't have my all trails up. So let's see. So we're going to go here, and this is the actual canal, and here's a plaque denoting what I was talking about earlier in my vehicle. I don't know if I'm going to edit that. I might. But basically, they started construction, and it lasted from 1826 to 1830, and then they would move different types of product down here. Cotton, rice, it says fertilizer, lumber, and then big goods. About in the 1890s, the railroad came and began to basically take business away. So that was the end of the canal. And it's 16.5 miles total. I'm assuming this is some remnants of where the lock was and anchoring it, the original brickwork. And supposedly it's a pretty easy path. It's well marked. It's a big loop, so you can't get lost. And then there's another trail that goes off. I guess she called it the Sandhill Trail. So just so you can see the where the straps were for the metal to hold the locks in place. And you can see the water is flowing. Over here there's a replica of a lock to show how it works. And here you can see a replica of the lock, and it shows a little bit how it operates. Obviously the main door just blocks the water from going, and then you have this small door inside which allows you to open a small portion and would allow the water to drain out. So if you were lowering it, you would open up this little door, and that would allow the water to drain. And that's why there's a door within the door, so that you wouldn't have this rush of water. You would have a slow, steady drain, and the water level would go down, and then the barge could continue on. I'm going to go down the trail now. So this is this is lock number 5, just at the other end of it. And you can see the water's moving a little bit. They have some canoes here. I think you'd be hard pressed to get a canoe through here. I just don't think the water levels are up. I don't know if it's the dry season. Maybe I'll go back and ask some questions. But obviously this would be a problem. I think probably years ago, I'm assuming the water levels were higher. There might have been more drainage in here. Maybe it's been diverted or since filled up, so the canal doesn't fill up as much. But I'm assuming this is all original brickwork. You know, we're talking almost 200 years old. It's pretty amazing that what they built back then still stands, even with neglect and erosion and time. So it's pretty beautiful and impressive. Okay, let's get on down the trail. And today I'm filming with my Samsung S22 phone. I'm using my OM5 gimbal to straighten out my limping. So as I alluded to before, I've been training a lot lately. I've been running, jogging. I've actually started rucking, which is, if you're not familiar with rucking, it's basically carrying a backpack with weight on, similar like what the military would do. They usually use that term, rucking, for a rucksack. So I've been carrying a 45-pound, 46-pound weight along with the backpack, so it's closer to 50 pounds probably, and walking, you know, anywhere up to 3 miles. It seems to have hurt my hip or my hip flexors, which have gotten really, really tight. The other day I ran 8 miles. When I came back, I could barely move. The next morning, I was limping a lot. I don't think I injured anything. I think it's just an overuse injury, so I've kind of been taking a couple of days off. It feels much better, but it's still tender. So I'm going to continue to take it easy. But of course, since I'm feeling better today, what better thing to do than go out and do a short hike, right? Because that's what I do. But I did plan on coming here. This trip has been planned for about 2 months. And I've been looking at this particular trail for well over a year and a half. And like I said, I came to this trail first, I believe, before I found the CNO, because I was in the area and I thought about doing a trail here, and I came across it, and that led me down the rabbit hole to the CNO. And the CNO, obviously a much better trail, much better path, and I was able to pull that off first before coming here. So I've got one more towpath that I'm looking at, that I'm hoping to do later this year in conjunction with another trip, but nothing compares to the CNO in terms of just the length of the trail and the I guess the atmosphere. But this is a short hike, and you get the same idea of what it would have been like to have been alive, or back then 100, 200 years ago, moving barges down these canals. So, but I want to stay in good shape because I got my trip coming up to California in less than a month, and I need my legs to be in great shape. So I've dialed back the jogging, and I've dialed back the rucking to make sure I'm in good shape. There's some people up ahead, so I'm going to stop recording, and I'll check back in again. Got this beautiful boardwalk to take you over some of the wetter areas with some built-in benches for those of you that want to stop and enjoy the area, or just, I guess, need a break. You can see how wide the canal is here. I don't know if it was, I'm doubting it was that wide originally, but it's possible. We're coming to another lock. I can see the brickwork. There's no remnants of the gate here. So I'm assuming this is either lock number 4 or lock number 6. But it's a relatively nice trail. It's easy to go to. It's graded well. Obviously you got to watch out for roots and stuff, but they don't want you going on the brickwork. But here is the brickwork. And it looks like the trail goes off to the left here. This looks like it joins a river up ahead. About 4/10 of a mile in, maybe 3/10, and you come across this nice boardwalk where the trail curves. I'm assuming these are cypress over here. So here I am walking along the boardwalk still. Beautiful view of, assuming, the river. Not much wildlife so far. Just seen a squirrel and that bird across the way. And of course, other people. Nice to see this pavilion here. It's a Boy Scout Eagle project, happy to see. It's a little over 20-something years old, but it's doing good. I'm sure it's been maintained well. And this is the Ogeechee River. I'm going to start heading back now. I got the other family coming here, so I don't know if they're coming this way or they're going to go back. So, as I show you some of the trail, basically it was like half a mile in. I have 0.6 on my watch when I came to the pavilion, so pretty much I'd say half a mile is good. I walked up and back a little bit and wandered around. I got some new equipment, obviously. If you're looking at the videos critically or just observant, I guess you'll see I am wearing this little small running vest that I bought about 1.5 years for another event. Haven't used it until now. It just feels so tiny and light. I just put a rain jacket and a bottle of water and a snack or two, just in case. I didn't know how long this was going to be. I don't suspect I'll need any of those things. I probably won't even have anything. I'll just go home, meet my family, and then we'll probably go out for lunch after I clean up a little bit. I just wanted to do this for the sake that it's a towpath, and obviously after doing the C&O, I just feel like there's a couple of other ones I want to do and get them out of the way. And this is a good, like a training hike. You could obviously load up, put your backpack on and walk around here. It's a safe environment. You're not going to get lost. You're not going to have any adverse conditions, hopefully. But these are what you do to stay in shape. You find it interesting. You got to do different places and different things. You know, training over the same grounds all the time gets a little dull. And sometimes when you're feeling like you don't want to get up in the morning and go out and train, pick a different route or go somewhere, make a trip out of it. And that'll give you hopefully the motivation to keep training and exploring. And it's always good to go to new places and see new things. You know, you learn stuff everywhere. A birdhouse or a bat box? Probably bird. What do I know about nature? I just like to get out in it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm trying out some other new equipment. I have my new Ultra Lone Peaks on. Let me see if I can get down to see them. There they are, brand new, first time out on the trail. I figured I'd wear them for a couple of miles and see if they do me well. Other than that, there's nothing really new. Like I said, this vest, I bought it about 2 years ago. Actually, probably longer. I think I bought it right before COVID came. There was an event that I was looking to do, which I never got to do because it was canceled. So for that, it's a walking event, but it was long distance. So it's good to have a little vest or a backpack that's extremely light, and I could carry, a rain jacket, some snacks, and probably sunscreen and stuff with me. But still looking forward to doing that. It might be next year. So we'll see how I do. Obviously, other than that, this is just basically this could be like a training hike or just a morning get out and do some exercise. But other than that, it is pretty out there. It's secluded. Not a lot of other distractions from enjoying nature. Definitely want to consider bringing some mosquito repellent. I didn't bring any. I did bring a wipe with mosquito repellent, but I haven't used it yet. But I'm trying to keep moving. But if you're going to stop for any length of time, you probably want to have some mosquito repellent. Looks like I'm coming back to the area where the museum and parking lot is. I've gone just over a mile to do that loop. So this is not by any means a long or a lengthy hike. It's just a nice quick walk in the woods, see something historic and different. Like I said, I only saw those 2 locks. I don't know if there's a way to see more of them. I'm going to go back and actually ask some questions. I'm going to try and probably do the other loop, which is, I think, the Sand Hill Trail, what they're calling it. I don't believe it has anything to do with the canal, but I'm not sure. I'm the first person to walk by here today, and I see a very, very big spider web directly in front of me. I don't know if it's showing up in here. Yeah, there he goes. Very sorry to have ruined his work, but I need to get by. So I said, you can see in the distance. I don't know if you can see. Actually, I'm hoping you can. I can see it. I don't know how it shows up on video, but you can hear the road noises picking up, and you can also see in the distance between the trees straight ahead of me. There's a road, and every once in a while I see cars passing by. So I know I'm coming back toward the roadway. Other than that, I'm doing good. I feel good. Like I said, my hip is tight. The walking on the hip actually makes it feel a little better. I'm going to turn off to the right over here. Oh, it's called the Ridge Trail. Okay. So we'll lengthen it. So I walked 1.1 miles already, and I'm going to turn off on this Ridge Trail. And once again, a lot of boardwalk walking, so some of the wetter or muddier areas, you probably don't have to worry about it. I did read a couple of reviews that complained or mentioned that be prepared for mud at certain times of the year. I guess if it's really rainy, or the rainy season, it might be a concern. So, but so far, my feet have not gotten muddy or wet. So I was kind of prepared for that, just in case. Now this trail is a little bit more like what I'm used to. It's not quite as well marked, but it's easy to follow the path. I have seen a couple of trees with red marks on them or orange, like this one. I don't know if that's actually officially marking the trail or not, but it seems to coincide with the way I'm walking. And you can see them, so I'm assuming that it's marked. You can just follow the worn path, but it's up and down, a little bit more roots, and you got to be a little more careful walking, but very soft tread, and I wish all trails were. It's beautiful. So you can hear the road. I believe the highway is off to my left as I'm walking, or the roadway. So
You know, it's hard to immerse yourself in the woods when you keep hearing trucks and cars drift by, but it is what it is. There's a pavilion off in the distance. I imagine that you can do camping here. This probably wouldn't be a bad place to stay and camp overnight. I'm gonna follow the trail though a little bit, see if it leads back there. Okay, I guess this would lead to the pavilion in the area. And it's green. I see green markings. I'm gonna stay here. And there's also green and orange. So I imagine this is two different trails. I don't know if it's that organized or not. I'll inquire when I get back to the museum. So they didn't have any maps available. I did ask. They had one on the wall that's kind of like an artist drawing kind of thing. I guess they have a link, a QR code to all trails. So if you're looking to have a map before you come and maybe track it or follow it online, you can download the map from all trails and use that. I do have reception here, it appears. So you're in cell coverage, so it's not like you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere. So you can use the All Trails app while you're hiking as well. Okay, I came to what was either a larger path or a roadway and across, and I wasn't sure which way the trail went, but I followed the road, and now it has blue markings on it. You can see another path going off here. None of this is really well marked, so ooh, big bird out there somehow. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a turkey or a duck. So these are not really well marked here. Oh, there's another one. They're taking roost in the trees. Okay, this is closed. So I'm assuming they don't want me to go there. And this is the Sandhills Trail. So, and it has orange markings. So, and here's a boardwalk. So, the lady that I spoke to at the front did advise me that All Trails map shows the trail ending. However, they've added some new sections and the trail actually goes on further than what the app says so. So I guess it needs to be updated. I guess you got to probably contact them and let them know that their map is in error and provide additional information to it. I'm not sure what stream or river I'm crossing. But very nice boardwalk here for a trail. So this has to be, there's a lot of boardwalks here, so I imagine it's a lot of upkeep and maintenance. But just a nice walk in the woods and beautiful, and you're very, very close to Savannah. These are just beautiful trails out here. Not really much of a breeze today, and it's hot and humid. I'm sure it's in the 80s already. Humidity is climbing as the sun comes up, but very soft tread trail, easy to follow, and you know, you got a little road noise, like I said, but other than that, it's just nice trail. A lot of shade, so I haven't been out in the sun, clear sun yet, the whole time, so I don't have to really worry about sunscreen. I brought a hat just to keep bugs off my face, and just in case, I wasn't sure. I don't know how much further this trail goes. You know, if you look online and you read the reviews, you see all different varying comments about how the trail was good, the trail was bad, how long it was. So it's very hard to do research on certain things because there's no accurate. Yeah, I just ingested a bug. Serves me right for talking and walking. I did spit them out though. Didn't swallow it. Oh, that was bad. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a spider or a mosquito or fly or what. He's got spit out on the trail back there. Anyway, as I was saying, it's very hard to do accurate information and research to know how long the trail is because none of the sources are consistent. So just come out here and do it. But I know it can't be that long. I'm prepared to do 5 or 6 miles, but I know it won't be that long. So I've come to a sign that says the trail ends here, but I do remember the lady saying the trail continues, and there is multiple trails here that I could take. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which one is which. There's this trail here, which continues on obviously, and then you have this trail here, which is pretty well worn and marked. So I'm going to explore a little bit, and we'll see where it goes. I just came to the 2.1 mile mark at that sign. So, not a very long trip so far. I would have to walk back. It's probably about another mile back to the pavilion and where the parking lot is. So I'm going to just explore a little bit further. Hopefully I can get another, half mile, quarter mile out of this. And I might explore that other side trail as well. We'll see how much further this goes. Okay, I took the trail to the right and I was able to make a basic loop back to the sign here. So I'm going to head back in. There is another trail that looks like it goes off into the right from where I'm at, but I'm not sure where it goes. And I did see a sign that said, no trespassing, hunting, fishing on the property. So I'm going to assume that may be someone else's property, and I'm going to respect that and not go there. So we're going to start walking back. Okay, I'm on my way back. I'm coming up on about almost 2.5 miles shortly. I'm a little bit shy. I'm rounding up. Backtracking over the trail I've already gone. Not sure what that is. That's either a bird's nest of some sort, I'm assuming. Let's see if it's occupied. Can't see in there. Nope, it's an abandoned bird's nest. I just noticed it when I was walking by. So here I am, still walking along. I don't know what, I just happened to catch that bird's nest. I actually thought it was a bees or wasps nest when I first saw it. And then when I went back and looked at it, then I saw it's like a little pouch, and that's actually a bird's nest. So pretty interesting there. I've gone about 2.6 miles now, and I'm still walking back. Okay, we made it back to what looks like the start of the trail. This is where I came in. I just passed one other walker. Most importantly, I need to get the correct pronunciation of Ogeechee. And here's the building. It's got a nice mural on the side. I noticed a Boy Scout troop on the back wall, so I don't know if they did the painting or not. Check back in. Okay, well, I made it back to the gate. This is the pavilion that I started at. Right behind me, you can see that's where the museum is. And this is the gate I walked through. And I have 3.3 miles walked, so a nice little hike, nothing bad. I'll give some more numbers later. I'm gonna go inside, say goodbye, and I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. Well, hello. Just finished the Ogeechee, I was told is the correct thing. The emphasis on the gi. Ogeechee Canal. I guess the Savannah Ogeechee Canal Trail. It's a towpath similar to what I did in the CNO. and it's basically coming up on 200 years old. So it's pretty impressive. I saw Lock 5 and Lock 6. The trail along the towpath here leads to the Ogeechee River, with the Savannah River being further up the trail. The locks are all still there, I've been told, the foundations. The brickwork, it's a well-known gentleman in this area, came from Pennsylvania, I was told, and did all the brickwork here, including all the brickwork down in Savannah, the wells, the cisterns that were all, around that time period, 200 years old. So he's well known. If you're into brickwork, obviously, but not well known by the general public. There is a plan. They're going to try to preserve those areas. Some of them have been isolated because they're on private property or they're part of other public property. And I guess it was explained to me that they're looking to hopefully make a trail and preserve a nature area in the future. But that's all well and good. But for me and for anyone else that's interested, the towpath, it's a small little museum. It's very affordable. I think it's $5. It cost me to come on the property. If you're a military, I believe it's $1 or $2 off. Children might be a little cheaper. Seniors might be a little cheaper too. I didn't look at the price. They do have them up there. Their website has been updated a couple of weeks ago, which is nice. So they do have some new information, which is good. Obviously, it's a shoestring budget probably here. They're probably not making money, but they're just preserving what they have. It's a beautiful piece of property. I enjoyed very much hiking on it. I did 3.31 miles in 1 hour and 25 minutes. Took my time a little bit. I wasn't rushing. I did stop a little bit. There's bathrooms here. There's water here if you need it. Bring a snack or a drink if you can. You'll save yourself. It's convenient that way, but you don't need to. You can even picnic if you want. I guess you could take some stuff out there, stop, take a break, and eat your lunch, have some sandwiches or something, and then continue hiking. I think it would be great for people with children or families, even small children. There's only 1 or 2 areas that I would be concerned about them like falling into mud. There's a lot of boardwalks though, so the mud areas are covered. It's a beautiful pathway, very soft tread, not rocky at all. There's no rock. There are roots you have to be careful for, but other than that, didn't see much wildlife. There is wildlife here. I saw turkey vultures. They were not turkeys, they're turkey vultures. There are obviously owls in the area and some hawks. I didn't see them. I was told there's deer in the area, but they don't usually come out obviously till nighttime, and not very plentiful in this area. So there's not a lot of hunting or anything going on in the area because there's not a lot of animals. Other than that, just doing the towpath trail, you're talking about a mile probably, maybe 1.1. So if you're in the Savannah area and you just want to get a little bit of nature and a little walk off the beaten path a little bit, I would recommend coming here. They are closed as of now on Monday and Tuesday. So the weekend they're open, which when most people would probably be here with their family. It's a nice little trail, nice to get out, a little bit of history to see here. There were some stills where they were making moonshine kind of alcohol during Prohibition here. There's a lot of history in this area going back, before the founding of our country all the way till today. So I like history and I like the fact that this is being preserved. What more can I say? If you're in the area, come on out. Nice, easy trail. And, you can just spend an hour or 2 out here, do your hike, and go back and get on with your day and do other things. So I highly recommend it. It's pretty level. I think elevation-wise, I think I did a total elevation change of 32 feet, ascent and descent. So you're not dealing with anything. It's easy going. Even people with, I think, some issues, afraid of hiking, whatever, would be able to come out here and walk on this trail. If you have limited mobility, I think you'd be able to do it still. I don't think it would be a problem. You don't need trekking poles or anything. Just walk out here and enjoy yourself. Okay, that's going to be it from the Ogeechee and Savannah Canal. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give it a like or leave a comment. If you feel like or you're so inclined, consider subscribing to the podcast. Thank you so much. Till we meet again.